Good morning, everybody. I'm assuming that the little green light means I'm actually streaming. My name is Gary, Denver Guitar Orchestra. We meet here every day to work on getting better. I'm going to go post the link onto our website and, of course, tweet the activities of the morning. Website, denverguitarorchestra.com. And how come it's not? How come it says I'm not logged in? I'm not logged in. That's why. Let's go post over here. https://denverguitarorchestra.com. Alright. Put on our logo, guitar logo, tweet. Alright, so now we've tweeted. Now let's go post it on the link, or on the link on the website. And that's, paste, shift, highlight, link, enter, edit, settings, open a new window, update, and update. Okay, so we should be in all together. Today our plan is to play Farmer in the Dell again. We play Book 1 songs every day through the week. Give newer players a chance just to get comfy. Then we're playing Down in the Valley. Slow, sad, something about Birmingham jail, if I remember right. And then Mary the Beautiful, which we hardly ever play around here. It gets put off. So it's kind of fun to revisit that one. And I'm looking for my sheet music. I've made some changes to the layout of my office here. I took the little table that was here and moved it here. So now I can't find anything. All right, let's see. I see the first person in will let me know if the sound is any good. And that's where we're at. I'm busy updating all these. We had to update WordPress, and which means all of my websites all of the plugins are freaking out right now, and so we're busy updating all of those. And then I had to update my phone and my Macintosh today, so I guess they call them Apples now. I don't know what it's called. Alright, I got all kinds of emails related to that. So let's see here. Let's get my streaming where it's supposed to be. I'll close this. I think I'm online. Looks like I'm online. Alright, it's 10:03. We'll probably start in a couple minutes here. Things I've been noticing. I need to. Oh, I could do that. Oh, I could. Well, no, then I can't see the chat. I like to chat with people. All right, there's that. All right, let's make sure I have everything I need to have in here. I know I have Farmer in the Dell because we did it yesterday, and then Book 2 will be Down in the Valley. Did Deo yesterday. Nice. And then Down in the Valley. Let's see if I have any notes on mine. Have no notes. Cool. C and G. Okay. Building the C chord. Choices when switching to G chord. Handling the very long notes. PMI arpeggios. Oh yeah, I do have those, huh? All right, cool. Let's see. All right, it's 10:05. Nobody's here. They're all like, I can't stand it anymore. Oh, Vic is here. All right, beautiful. Hey, Vic. Let's see. They're probably thinking, I don't want to play Farmer in the Dell. I'll wait a little while to log in. All right, let's see here. Let's see. So this is a slightly different setup than I had before. I'll move the table from here to here. I'm going to try using the light, and I don't think it messes up the imagery. It does feel like I am playing crooked, though, doesn't it? Let me see if I did something like this. If I line me up with the screen a little better. All right, let's go with that. All right, let's tune up. New players. Eddie, 8. Close enough. Dynamite. like I got it pretty close, doesn't it? All right, hopefully you're tuned up, holding your guitar properly. Your 45, 50, 60, somewhere in this neighborhood angle. This guitar sitting pride between your legs. And then thumb, don't see my thumb, hanging out behind my middle finger. Everything's lovely. Farmer in the Dell, please. Book 1. Farmer in the Dell, A chord. Okay. If you're new, this is plenty. Been around a little bit longer. Been around a little bit longer than that. 1, 2. Farmer in the Dell. The farmer in the Dell. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the farmer in the Dell. The cheese stands alone. The cheese stands alone. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the cheese stands alone. Ta-dum. Good. So not much on there in terms of singing it, but really a great chance when you're working on your, the A chord is probably the easiest of the 3 chords. E chord's pretty easy, but A chord's probably the easiest of the 4 chords in book 1. And so that gives you a chance to work on right hand stuff. Again, be thinking about, am I playing here? Am I playing here? Am I playing here? You get different tones out of your guitar. All of those options. Then let's play the melody. Again, hold your A chord. You're just going to make some adjustments with your ring finger as you go along. 1, 2. Played into measure 1. I guess I thought I was going to go around another time, but I think that's pretty much enough for Farmer in the Dell. Those of you guys that have been around a while, of course, you're practicing your tough axe here, and then newer players. We do really want you to start looking at tough axe about this song here. Again, you're just the same thing you're doing with the melody, adjusting your ring finger, but instead of hitting one string, you're hitting more than one string. Oh, Evelyn made it in. Sound is good. Just finished a round of disc golf this morning. 64. All right, cloudy and 64 down there in Cuenca. Evelyn is an avid Frisbee golfer. It's called disc golf, right? Can't use the word Frisbee because that's copyrighted. Pauline, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Let's do it one time with your thumb, one time with your claw. 1, 2. Those are 3 main ways of playing. Obviously, the 4th way is to play together, where you'll play chords and I'll play melody or something like that. And we do that once in a while around here. Sometimes a little bit more on Fridays than other days, but not a ton. We don't do a ton of ensemble work because I can't hear you. But that's really the 4th way. is to play chords in some fashion, fancy right hand, play the melody, and then play that's when you would play, one of you would play melody and one of you would play chords. It's kind of a fun thing to do. And then of course Tough Axe is designed for solo guitarists, which most of us are working on that. Let's see, Warren made it in. Good to see you, bud. And Pauline says 57 degrees with high clouds there in the Bay Area. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? Sounds like a perfect day going on in the Bay Area. All right, there's Farmer in the Dell. Let's see, book 2 now. Down in the Valley. What do I know about Down in the Valley? I don't think I know anything about Down in the Valley. I know that when I worked on the words don't seem to make any sense. Nobody's really positive who wrote the words. We have a few guys who claim to have written it. And it's a 3-time through type thing. Somebody's supposed to build him a castle so he can look over the walls of Birmingham jail and see. So can't quite tell. It's got a spiritual feel to it, but it's also just sort of, I don't know, sort of oddly composed words. The real thing on this song is your C chord, going to your fancier G chord, back to your C chord, and then also getting in your G chord in here, G7 chord. Okay, so in book 2, where everything's a 2-chord song, this song has really technically 3 chords, right? Because you've got your G chord, your C chord, and your G7. And because for me, because they're all spread out crazy, I almost end up having to always look at every single chord change. I can't just look at the paper. I got to be looking over here. Let's talk about your 3 G shapes. First one is the one we typically learn when we do a book 1, which is index, middle, and ring. I consider that your standard issue G chord. After you've been playing a little while, you want to make it sound a little bit better. You take your ring finger, move it to the 2nd string, add your pinky finger. Now you're using all 4 fingers, and you just get a little more punch out of the high end there. A little bit punchier sound than just with one. I like them both. And then your 3rd G shape, which a lot of folk music players will do because they are singing in the key of C. They'll take pinky on the bottom, and then they change out their ring and middle fingers here. So this is the shape that you get. And obviously the reason to work on that chord shape, I don't, but the reason to work on it would be that you're going to be playing in the key of C, and that leaves your index finger ready to jump over there. And it also gets you comfortable with playing your G7, which is your index finger up here on that string. And so I think moment to moment within a song, you sort of decide which G chord is going to be your best G chord. C chord is, that doesn't change a lot in different contexts. But this song, you can be playing it. You might play it with a fancy G chord. You might play it with a regular G chord, and you might play it with your G7 or your G shape with your pinky. This is the one I find the most difficult. So lots of G chord options. Let's just sing it one time. I don't know the words of this particularly well, but let's sing it through one time. I just realized my foot pedal is not fired up. Let's see what happens when that gets started. Let's go see if it connects. Sometimes it connects right away, and sometimes it's like, I am not connecting. All right, it's doing it. All right, we're in business. Good. All right, from the top, just your chords. Notice there's no chord over measure 1. Probably would want to sing that without a chord. Down in the valley so low, hang your head over, hear the wind blow. The wind blow, love. Hear the wind So not a lot of song there. It's not one of these songs you're like, oh, I'm so glad we're working on it. But it is a chance for you to work on all your G shapes. Every time that G7 shows up, I feel like, oh, I'm getting caught in a bad position. And then I'm supposed to get back all the way to this other G chord. And I did that arrangement on that on purpose a little bit. I wanted you to have to think about, all right, if I grab this G chord, now how do I get all the way over to that G7 and then back to this G7 or this G chord? And all of that's super optional. Your audience will never know the difference for the most part. They might be able to hear a G7 a little bit over a G, but for the most part, you're going to be fine with it, whatever G you happen to get on. I think the key is knowing all of your G chords. All right, at that position. Also, remember, you have your really good G chord, which is your F chord up here on 3. That's the good G chord. So there's another G chord. So a very G-oriented instrument, having 4 different G chords, all within striking distance right down here. Well, I guess F5 if you counted the G7, right? So lots of G's available. All right, let's play through the melody. This one, the big key is making sure you have the long notes stay long. We tend to rush when we have these big old long notes, so you'll see what happens. I would, in your head, if not out loud, I usually count out loud because I'm demonstrating what I'm doing with counting, but in your head you should for sure be counting. I don't recommend you tap your foot. You see that a lot. You teach elementary school kids to tap their foot so they can help keep time, but as adult players, tapping your foot is a bit of an annoying thing. Kind of feel the beat inside your body somehow. When you go to the symphony, they're not tapping their foot, but you can see the bodies sort of moving, helping keep the rhythm going in their minds. So I would recommend counting anytime you get to a long note, any half note or longer. In your head, you're 1, 2, 3, or whatever the count happens to be. That way you don't come in early. Tablature players, we come in early all of the time, and we don't want to do that. All right, from the top, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I went ahead into the measure 25, but when you see something like that, okay, just hold on to your chord. Now, these days, I probably wouldn't arrange that way. I would probably just have a 6-beat note and then give you a chord at the end. But I do think, because honestly, even a singer, you don't want to send the singer the message, yeah, I want you to sing for 9 beats. You don't want to send the singer that message because they will. And so when I change that up, I will get rid of the tie into measure 25. But for you, if you're following the sheet music, pretty clear, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's fine. Just let it die out. Let's see. Elizabeth made it in. Good morning, Elizabeth. 55 outside. Oh, you're off to the dentist. All right. Good. Elizabeth is finally got a couple of shots in her, I think, able to finally go outside the house a little bit. All right. Finally, let's talk about the tough act. I want to leave a little bit of time to talk about those Segovia scales again. We got started on those yesterday. Let's play the tough acts. With this one, it's a super sad song, so give it plenty of oxygen. Make sure you're letting those notes fully develop. You're not in any hurry to play this song, so when you're not in a hurry, your goal is to get clean sounds, full, well-rounded guitar in it. It's an old-fashioned sad song, so we want a lot of bass notes kind of dragging around through the whole song and letting those develop. Trying to do the least amount of work possible with your left hand to make it happen, and I think you'll end up with a pretty nice result. All right, from the top, 1, 2, 3. Let's do the repeat. Up. I don't have a chord on the tough axe, and I will next time we publish the sheet music. One of the things with C chord, when you end on C chord, we have a tendency on all of our chords or all of our endings just to go right and finish up. It sounds nice, right? But with C chord, you've got this C note that you're holding down right there. So a lot of times it makes more sense to just do the fourth string. So you end on that C note there rather than the E note of the open first string, right? Which sounds fine. But if you're trying to make a sad song really sound complete, finishing on this C note makes a little more sense. Bong, right there, bong, bong, and it just feels like, oh, well, I don't know what's going on in this song, but it's very complete and sad. So, all right, so there's Down in the Valley. Again, the big takeaway from this one is all of those G shapes. I'm working on all of them. We don't have the bar chord G shape in here, but other than that, you've got your three main shapes that are going to show up, and four actually. And it's good to have. You're going to have your preferred G chords. I think those do change over time. And I think, just being aware of them and knowing how to play each of them in a given moment in this song is going to do you some good. I was rewriting Summertime for the harmonica group, and I did not get my coffee all the way in me. But right now, a sort of desperate sadness related to my chemical addiction to caffeine is wafting through my body. Let's go grab America the Beautiful. And why do I not have that? Is it? Oh, I must have added it into book 3 at a later date. Where are you? Here you are. I will be reposting, probably not until summer, but I will be reposting a lot of the sheet music out of book 3. Book 1 and book 2 are holding together pretty well, even with daily play and changing my ideas about stuff. But book 3 has definitely kind of been ravaged over the years. Last time I published this was 2018, so it's getting to be about a 3-year-old arrangement. Lots of things that I might change about it, but for the most part, the only thing that I see in my notes here is just trying to get more fullness out of it, trying to get a little bit bigger roll on some of these chords. So like on page 2 in the second, that's, you know, from measures 10 through 13, I've added in full chords underneath almost all of those to get just a little bit bigger, fuller sound. A tiny bit harder to play in a couple of places, but for the most part it's pretty straightforward. I also notice on this song that I've made several notations about which finger to use, and for me over time that can change, but I do think probably the first time I read through a sheet music I haven't looked at in a while, I'm going to take a look at those fingerings and go, okay, that R means a ring finger, so I want to get that there. And so why would I do that? So if I'm coming out of 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 4. Oh. I see what I'm doing. Yeah, so that's another reason why you're sometimes a little bit, if you're not writing on your sheet music, you probably aren't leaving you breadcrumbs for down the road somewhere, because you're not going to play whatever song you're working on for that long unless it's when you're memorizing. And even if you memorize it, you want to have your chicken scratching on it, because at some point you'll forget how the memorization, and you want to go back and make your re-education of the song as quick as possible. So don't be shy about writing on your music. It's important. All right, we play this one down through 16 and come back to the top. Let's do it 3 times through. First time I will sing. Sorry. Second time through we will play the melody. Third time through we will play the tough X. Okay. Now my arpeggio on here is silly. We'll definitely be tossing that out and rethinking the arpeggio. When you're in 4/4, I think this 1, 2, 3, 4 is plain. Is plenty. I did put on a 6-finger pattern with, you know, to get 8 total beats in there. Just a lot more work than it needs to be. All right, 3 times through. I'll sing the first time. We'll play the melody the second time. We'll play the tough X the third time. If you want to make a duet, you play the melody the first time. Then when I switch to melody, you switch to chords, and then we're playing a duet. It gives you a chance to see how you're doing against a you know, if we're sounding good together, obviously. All right, from the top, 1, 2, 3. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain. 3, 4, purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. 2, 3, America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Now we go back to the top, maybe switch parts. time through. The tough act for me. Sorry, let me go back to that one spot. Measure 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got into a big pickle there playing it too fast, so let's go through and talk about it. Go back to measure 7. Let's go double check that I've got everything on my sheet music the way it probably should be. So measure 7, you got 0, 4, 3, 4. So that's index finger on, that's basically your D7 shape up here on 3. Now I'm showing a ring finger on 5. Oh, I see. So you've got to have that E7. That does make the most sense. So probably, as you're dropping in your 3, 4, 0, 4, 3, 4. Slide it up, add these 2 on. Does make the most sense. So really run your ring finger on the 4. And then slide that up to 5 and then 7. So you get to 3, 0, 4, 3, 4. Slide it to 5, slide it to 7, add these 2 back on. Go grab your A chord. Ring finger on 3. Then you can slide that up to 8. Middle finger on 5. A minor shape, pinky on 3. Pull it back. D7. Push your ring forward. 5s. Pinky on 7. Strum it again. Pinky on the other 7. And then a G chord. G7. Pinky on the 3. Chord with the pinky, lose the pinky, hit the 3, switch to a G chord, A7, ring, D7, pinky on 5, slide back to the G. Alright, so let's play it one more time through. I got my problems worked out. And again, I'm just following along on my previous notes when I got to that measure 7. And I'm like, that can't possibly be a ring finger, but yep, sure enough, makes sense. It makes sense because you're headed into the tragedy of measure 9, and you really do want to be set up correctly to get up here to that. All right. From the top, By the way, Kathy Lee Bates, who wrote this, not the Kathy Lee Bates from Misery fame, who took the sledgehammer to Stephen King. Kathy Lee Bates visited Colorado, where I live, and she went up to Pikes Peak, which you can see from Denver here, and that's where she found the Purple Mountain Majesties. So Coloradans, we like this song. From the top, 1, 2, 3. Nice tune, really pleasant to play. I like that. All right, hopefully that's coming out of your guitar pretty well, making some sense, right, theoretically. And then let's double check. That was our plan for today, right, American Beautiful. So let's go. Before we leave today, I do want to play these Segovia Patterns, the top one, quite a bit this week, so that we can get some comfort level going on it. And where did I put mine? Segovia. So again, scale number 2 and scale number 4 on there, or measure 2 and measure 4, those are definitely more advanced and much more unpleasant to play. But the C pattern does have a lot to teach us, and so I do want to spend a little bit of time this week really trying to get where everything makes sense. So we're the first thing I see on, and it's only measure 1, right? We only have however many notes are in that, and we're just supposed to play it over and over with each of our index fingers, or each of our right hand fingers. So the first thought is we're going to be in second position. So immediately I'm grabbing here to put my index finger there. The second thing I'm going to be doing is looking at that means my middle finger is right where it says it's supposed to be, 3 and 5 here. Okay, and then just reading the tablature, you're going to go middle, pinky, index, middle, pinky, index, ring, and then this is where that 5 you see has a star under it. Now we have to go to 5th position, so you slide out your index finger up to the 5. Ring on the 7, go down a string, 5, middle, pinky, 5, ring, pinky, and then so I'm at that 8. Now I just turn around, come right back, 7, 5, pinky on the second string, 8, 6 with your middle finger, 5. Ring on 7, index on 5. Now you switch down to the 4 using your ring finger. 2, index finger on 2, pinky on 5, middle, index, pinky, middle. So that's what's going on there. I put the little stars on there to remind me and you to change positions. Okay, I put the finger you should use up in the standard notation. That's very typical of guitar notation. They say, oh, we don't like tablature. Tablature is for losers. And then they put mini tablatures all along in the standard notation. So I'm not picking on them. I do know that you need to be able to read standard notation. The problem with standard notation is it's really not set up for this style of instrument. And so you end up having to put in all these extra little fingering notes and which strings you want to play on and all this stuff, because these are definitely not the lowest possible notes on your this pattern is set up to have all closed fingering, so there's no string that you ever touch that doesn't have a finger holding it down. And the idea here is to get 2 octaves starting here all the way up to this note here and then all the way back, and do it in some methodical manner. So it's not that it's a crazy system. It's not necessarily the way fingerstyle players think. Evelyn says, I've heard that classical guitarists judge each other's skill level by how well and how quickly the scales are played. Segovia practiced scales for 2 hours a day. Still boring. Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think that's absolutely true. When you see the advanced guitar players, and you guys know I'm far from it, when you watch them play, the 2 things that you see is it almost looks like their fingers are just flying over the frets. They're just, and with me, when I see a 4 coming up, I'm like, oh God, I'm going to have to use my pinky. You can probably see, plain as day, me struggling a tiny bit with that. Whereas with a fully trained, professional level classical guitarist, it's just another note. They're not thinking about, oh, I have to use my pinky. That's not at all what their thought is. I hope I can get this. I hope that the story is happening the way I envisioned it happening. They're in another realm. But that's for years of practicing this stuff. Now, the other thing that you really look at with professional guitarists is this thing is just on autopilot. They don't even, you could tell they are not thinking about their right hand. It is happening magically. And we've come a long way with that. If you will work on the stuff that I talk about all the time with right hand, hey, we're going to play arpeggios, we're going to play claw, we're going to play thumb, we're going to use our index finger sometimes. All that stuff will start to become more and more automatic for you. When I'm playing arpeggio patterns, I don't think a lot about my right hand. It's just happening, right? But now when we're playing these types of scales where we're alternating just these 2 fingers, I struggle with that because I haven't worked on it very much. So yeah, I would say for sure, Evelyn, that you definitely have the right belief in that, is that you will be judged by the speed and accuracy of how you play by other guitarists. Here's the trick with that. Okay, don't tell anybody I said this. Who cares what other guitarists think? Right? Who cares? Right? Who do you care about? You care about you. What do you think of you doing? How you doing? That's the person that really matters. The second person that matters is the person who's willing to listen to you. And sometimes that's your esposa who lives in your casa, right? Sometimes that is a guy on the street. Sometimes that's your dog. What effect is your playing having on them? If they're happy, you're happy, right? I don't spend a whole lot of time worrying about other people's professional opinion of my technical stuff, because what you'll find, professionals won't tell you what they think anyway. They want you to come take a lesson from them, and amateurs, you don't need their opinion anyway, so who cares what they think. I do think the only person at the end of the day, and this is true in all art, I believe, I've done lots of different styles and types of art over my lifetime, the only person that I have to get straight with is me, and then I'm going to do the best I can to take the tools that I'm given and do what I can with them, but at the end of the day, I'm limited in all of that, as every artist is, and so I would say the only person you really need to be judged by is you. That's pretty much my opinion on that. So when we're looking at a pattern like this, and my first thought is I'm going to play this whole thing with my thumb, other guitarists will be like, oh, he's playing it with his thumb. That's not very good, right? I don't know. It's pretty good for me. I'm okay with it. I'm going to get better at index middle and index middle, that sort of thing. So keep keep the person that matters at the foremost of your thought. If you get to these patterns and you're like, God, they're boring, then admit that. It's fine. Some people love playing scales. It's their thing. I am really struggling with trying to care about these, and so I'm going to because I have to. But it's not my thing. Let's try this: index, middle, index, middle, index, middle business. You're going to start every other note with the index and then middle, index, middle, index, middle, and try. The one I'm working on right at the moment is just pulling them up and resting them on the string above. Okay, so there's that, right? And then we'll go through a second time and we'll do free stroke where you don't pull it up against the string above it, where you actually do a little bit more of a vertical pluck. Okay, so and then that's called the free stroke. I wrote on your things here the Spanish names. Apoyando means rest stroke, okay. And tirando means free stroke. Okay, I would practice both of those. Pauline says, if we were amazing, we'd have recording contracts. Let's play for it. Exactly. Right. I used to notice, back in the day when I was doing some other stuff, I got to play golf on a regular basis. And you go out there on a Thursday afternoon, and the guys in front of you were playing so slow. And you're like, what the heck are they doing? Well, they were pretending they were professionals and doing everything a certain way. And I'm like, you're at a public golf course on a Thursday afternoon. Just get going. You're not on television on Sunday afternoon playing golf. That guy has to do it right. If you hit a bad shot, just come on, drop a ball up there and get going. We're not on TV on Sunday afternoon. Those are golfers have to do it right. Same with the guitar. You don't have to do it right. You have to do it better than you did it 6 months ago. That's what you have to do. All right, from the top, nice and slow, really slow. Try to alternate your index and middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear my cat crying? Okay. There you go. My cat has wandered in. He's very upset at this whole Segovia scale business. So come on. So the cat is saying, "No, Gary, I'm not into it. I don't appreciate what you're working on." And so I'm listening to my audience. He's going meow meow meow, and now he's going to walk away. So that's my cat. My audience is against what I'm working on here. So I'm going to put it away for now. Let's continue working on that. I need to work on that in order to make myself look reasonably competent when I make a video for my audition to get into school. So let's do work on those patterns, and you can decide how much time you want to put in them. Ideally, the first time through, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle. Then the second time through, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, middle, index, and then so on. And I wrote the patterns down for you. Then AM is P-I-M-A, right? A-M, 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 and then M-A, 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 and then I-A, 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 and like that, right? So that and then he asks that you play through all those, and then at the end you go back to I-M, I-M, I-M. So I don't necessarily think you need to do all of those unless you want to, right? Obviously, it's not going to hurt you to do them. And then be thinking about doing them also as open notes. or free strokes and then rest strokes. The rest strokes, I think you get a little more pop out of them, a little more aggressiveness on them. They sound kind of cool. Free strokes, I think, take a little more subtlety to get them correctly. And I'm going to be working on these a lot for the next few weeks. And this particular piece of music, that one measure there, we'll be spending quite a bit of time on it. So it wouldn't be a bad idea for you to warm up with those as well. And hopefully you'll play them better than I will play them. And then, of course, the other two, the A melodic minor goes all the way up to fret 17. It really does. And I did check with my teacher, and he's like, yep, you should do those. And then the G major one goes all the way, I think, to 15. Yeah. So, it's this business of learning to reach around your guitar to get those. For those of you who are going to be studying classical, you do have to do that. For fingerstyle, we'll never do that. That's crazy. Those notes can be easily replaced by dropping the song an octave. So, all right, that's all I know about guitar today. Keep working on this stuff tomorrow. What do we got going on tomorrow? Tomorrow is Wednesday, Farmer in the Dell again. We got Drunken Sailor. We get to bang on our guitars a little bit, make some music, make guitar fun tomorrow. Those of you with some folk music background on guitar, that's your thing, right? Strumming and singing and having a beer. And then we have Andante in G by Carulli. If you haven't worked on that piece before, you really want to pull it out today and take a peek at it. One of my favorite pieces ever on guitar. It's only 8 measures long, and 4 of those measures are pretty playable. The other 4, there's plenty in those 8 measures to keep you really challenged. I've had lots and lots of students over the years just go ahead and memorize that thing because it's that beautiful. And it's only 8 measures, but you feel like you played an entire symphony by the time you're done. It's a lot. So, all right, guys, I'm going to pull the plug. Have a wonderful day. Remember, we're working on trying to do a random act of kindness for somebody. Guitar players have a tendency to get a little snooty, and we don't want to be that with those people, right? We want to just support everybody in what they're doing and do something silly for other people once in a while. Be safe. I know Elizabeth has not been wanting to go to the dentist until she got her 2 shots in, and I see she's off to the dentist today, so that's very exciting. We practice if you can, right? That it will make you better for sure, but what's really going to matter is whether you are playing, whether you're, I just hit this thing wrong. What will really matter is if you're just showing up to these lessons and showing up to meet a teacher to learn something, or showing up to classes, whatever. You got to keep showing up. That's the hard part. If you happen to be on the logged in YouTube or Gmail, I appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up. And then that's it. That's what I know. So have a wonderful day, you guys. Nancy, good to see you. Pauline, good to see you. Evelyn, I'm jealous you get up and go play Frisbee golf. I need to start doing something like that. That sounds like fun. There's probably a Frisbee golf course sort of in this neighborhood. We live next to a pretty big park. I bet you they got one laid out over there somewhere. I'll have to look it up. All right. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you guys later. Ending the stream.